Hi guys, Charlie here in Dubai. So today I'm going to take you through how to get rich quick and how really simple this is with all the technology we have at our disposal today. And before you click off this clickbait title, make sure you have a pen and paper ready and you understand how to do this, because this will change your life forever. We want to, how to get rich quick. Do some nice dollar signs. This is going to be really simple in terms of how we do this. Now, the first thing we want to think about is when we're looking to make money is understand creating wealth and making money comes down to one thing, and that's solving people's problems. So the first thing we actually want to think about when we're looking to try and create wealth and make money is a very simple thing, and it's thinking about who is the niche. So who are the people you're going to try and help? So a big mistake I see a lot of people making is that they try to get people who they want to help in a niche, but they have small dollars. They don't have much money. What we want to do is we want to try and get a niche which has big dollars. Because what you have to understand is this: if you solve rich person problems, you can charge rich person prices, which means then you don't need so many clients to have a very successful business. And that's why it's so easy to get something like $10,000 per month, because if you start to charge decent amounts of money, not $50 a month for some type of coaching program, you can then be very successful. So what does this all mean? So if we look at a niche, the minimum amount of people you want to try and find, if you're looking like globally or in a smaller audience, is obviously really going to vary. So the best place I'd recommend most people tend to target depends on what platforms you're using. If you're using paid advertising, the United States is the best place in the world for it. It has the highest cost per lead, debatably, but Americans are great to sell to. Statistically, actually, one of the worst places is the United Kingdom. Actually, interestingly, got voted second most boring place in the world to live, hence why I moved to Dubai. I might show you some videos from outside later on, which is pretty baller. So stay tuned to the end, I might show you my balcony, although it's been raining for like 2 days. So what we want to understand is that for our niche and to make money, if you target people with money, it becomes easier. So one way to also do this is we target people in better countries. So you're not going to target people in somewhere like fucking Botswana or no disrespect, somewhere like India or Pakistan. There's a lot of wealthy Indians, but there's also a lot who aren't wealthy. So to give you a true story, I've got 100,000 probably people who follow me on Instagram who are Indian. Do you know how much money I've made from India and fitness programs? Not a lot. So that is something you want to think about. Now, when we're trying to target people who have more money, there's one simple thing you want to think about their niche. It's their age. So if someone is generally older, they're going to have more money. So if someone was, think about this, if you're 35 or 25, do you have more money at 35 or 25? 35, right? If you're 45 or 35, do you have more money at 45? 45. If you're 55 or 45, do you have more money at 55? So you catch my drift. So what we generally want to try and do, we're trying to target people with more money, is take our age up. So one of the big traps a lot of people fall into is they try and target people who are like 18 to say 25. There's not a huge amount of kids that age, and I say kids because I was a kid and I do think you were a kid at that point. Although, true story, I was managing a real estate agent making $1 million a year at 23. I have no idea why they gave me that job. But the reality is people at this age don't have a lot of disposable income. What we want is people with lots of disposable income, and then the next thing we want to think about is what's their pain? What's the problem they have? And I put pain first because pain, that is what drives human behavior. In life, we're either running from pain or we're running towards glory or whatever we want. And an interesting way to think about that is that if I use myself as an example, I'm driven much more by the stick, like that I'll give myself, like don't be a pussy, you should wake up earlier today, you shouldn't make this YouTube video, you need to work harder, rather than the carrot of like, if I make an extra $1 million, nothing really changes. So for me, that's what drives me is the stick, not the carrot. And a lot of people are motivated by pain. And pain can also almost be shame of they're overweight, they're out of shape, maybe the kids are embarrassed of them, maybe they don't have the money they want, maybe you feel shameful watching this video because you're not in the position of life you feel like you should be. Because transparently, that was me at 21 to 28. I was shameful that I hadn't achieved what I wanted, didn't have freedom to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. So This is a huge thing to understand, this pain. Now, what we want to do is identify the pain, the problem. And what we need to do when we have that is also understand the most important part of that, which we're going to come on to in a second. But in terms of the niche, you also want to make sure you're not making a niche that's too small. So, give you an example of this. So, I like to have broad niches. So, particularly if you're going to try and run organic social media. If you're using paid ads, I would be more specific. We've personally spent over $1 million in fitness on Facebook ads, so we're very good at that. And the more specific you are with the niche and who you're targeting, the better it works. And this is one of the big things we help our clients with, is 7-figure scaling systems. But if you're going broad and organic, so you're just posting on Instagram, you're posting on YouTube, and you're just hoping people fall into the top end of your funnel, because everything in sales is a funnel. Like, we pull people into the top. This is like traffic. Excuse your handwriting. These are sales. And throughout that process, we like warm them up, right? So that's the funnel. So at the top, we need this generally to be broad if it's organic. The reason for that is, if you're starting to do a small niche and you're targeting vegan mums who are over 35 who live in Dubai, who only like doing Pilates and don't like going to the gym, then the reality is the niches can be so small that your post you put on Instagram with 2,000 followers is not going to get any people in it. So for organic, I would go broader, like wider at the top of the funnel. So maybe like female weight loss 30 to 50. And then in terms of paid traffic, I would go narrower, because with paid traffic, we can go deeper. Where this all basically takes us back to now is in terms of niche size, the minimum you want to have in what's called TAM, is a business term, total adjustable market, is 30 to 50,000 people. So that's a lot of like little stick men like this, or ladies. Let's not be sexist. So 30, 50,000 people in your audience who you're trying to target. So if you're in the local area, that might be doable. If you're in globally, that would be really, really easy. So this is basically what we want to look at. Now, next thing we want to look at here is the problem. So we should have a base understanding of where we're at with everything now. Now, when we look at the problem, how do we monetize someone's problem? Drum roll, please. You need to know the solution. So this comes down to one thing you have to have. The solution comes from you having a skill. So what do you need to do? You need to identify a person's problem. You need to make sure you have the skill to solve it. And then you also need to then market that you have the skill as a solution. And this is to the right niche. And it is as simple as that. Now, we do that, and we do that correctly, and we do that over and over again. This is when it becomes very easy to become successful. Because what happens is, you have people with a problem, they come to you, you give them the solution because you've got the skill to do it, you market the skill to them on the sales call, you have the solution to the right niche. What happens? Out the bottom pops results for clients. And then in addition to that, you're also going to have money. Which is why you're watching this video, because you want to get rich. Which is why I clickbaited this title. Now, in terms of results for clients, what is even better of this is where the game really begins, is when you get results for one client, I'm about to teach you a strategy in terms of how your business can grow indefinitely for free. And that's called referrals. So you kill it for results for clients. What happens then? You get one client to refer 2 people throughout their client journey. That one client, 1 then becomes 2. So we've got stick man, and we've got 2 stick men. So 1 client becomes 2. If you do that over and over again, this 2 then becomes 4. And that's how simple this is. Now, this is the base protocol in terms of how business actually works. Problem, solution, skill, market skill to solve the solution, sales call, payment, you have the right niche, you get results for clients, you get money, you then get referrals. The referrals then multiplies your business. Also because the results for clients, you get what's called brand. Now brand is one of the most important things that comes in terms of business now, because people don't want to be sold, they just want the solution, and they believe in the brand. So if you have the skill and you market that correctly, you have brand as well, plus the results for clients. And you can see how this is a spider web, and it's what's called the flywheel effect. When you start to get momentum with these types of things, the ease at which business success becomes is very, very simple, up to get to that 10, 20, 30K a month. Beyond that becomes a different game in terms of leadership, team organization, operations, and building out the infrastructure, which I could do another video on if you guys want, drop a comment below. But this is the base emphasis in terms of how we get to this point. Now, you're probably thinking, Charlie, okay, I have a niche, I have the skill, I have a solution, I have all of this stuff. What do I do next? Well, the problem is that where most people tend to fuck this up is they don't charge enough. I referred to this earlier by trying to target people with more money. So we try and target people who are, let's say, 30 plus. Now, let's say you're targeting people with 30 plus. The minimum I recommend people sell, if you're going to try and sell high ticket, which is what we recommend doing, is you try and sell $3,000 programs, courses, or whatever it is. If it's something one-to-one and you're going to take it on a call, then I would recommend $3,000 is a good start point. That could be something for 3 months, 6 months. It doesn't really matter. But the first thing for you to think about is the number one reason you can't charge higher prices is the person who's watching this video. It's you. It's the person who's looking in the mirror every day like, oh, I'm not worth this, I'm not worth that. If you charge people who have got more money, let's put $sign because it's cool. If you charge people who have more money, they need to actually pay more to take you more seriously. And do you know what happens? When you charge higher prices, the reality is people take you more seriously and see you as more of an authority. So the minimum you want to do for high ticket is 3K. If you're going to try and sell something like a course and you're just going to do and click and buy, the max I would try and sell is $997. The reason for this is there's a lot of friction when you go over this, and most people aren't going to be able to do that. The reality is, if you're going to try and run organic traffic, I would always try and go high ticket, because if these people also know you, they're going to be warm to you and easier to sell. So ideally 3K, 3 months, 6 months, for whatever the problem solution is, all this framework we've been through. And then in terms of a course, if you were selling a course, say for videographers in terms of how to blow up their videography business, and it was a step-by-step follow-along course and it had video editing tips and stuff like that, then yeah, maybe $997, you just send people to a landing page to sign up. If you do this, what I would do then is upsell into this. So if anyone does have a low ticket program or a cheaper option, try and use that to upsell people into the high ticket. But if you want to stay poor, what you try and do is this, which is what a little degenerates try and get people to do online, in particular the fitness industry, and it's the quickest way to make no money. And transparently, actually, this is the mistake I made at the beginning. So going back on my story, I launched our fitness business with a 8-week program called Shred in 8, and it was like $47 a month. I was getting 1,000 people on it every 8 weeks to sign up for challenges. I thought it was balling. I then went to high ticket coaching and I 5x my business. So low ticket is how you stay poor. And you also, the people who pay the least are the people who are the biggest problems. So you really want to avoid those. So anyone who's trying to get you to sell something that's like $47 a month, out the gate is fucking retarded. That's a waste of time. Don't do anything like this until you've done this. The reason I say that is because, and this is my own personal experience, which is one of the things we really teach, is that we were selling this, we went to selling high ticket. I tried to run the $47 a month then on ads, and what happened? It cost me a fortune. Why? Because of the high ticket people who were coming on a sales call were like, well, I've seen your Shred 8 program, it's $47 a month. What's the difference between this and that? They both say they give you a nutrition program. And that's a big price discrepancy, right? $47 to $3,000. And this is where you have to understand that not all money, not everyone there needs to be sold. Just because you have 15-year-old kids in your inbox who want help doesn't mean that they need to be a client of yours. They can absorb the free information. But information like this will save you an absolute fortune when it comes to scaling your business. If this video was helpful, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe and share this with a friend who can take a lot of value from it. And if you want to see more whiteboard videos like this, drop a comment below with what you would like to see. and we'll see you in the next video very, very soon. And if you'd be interested in working with us at 7-Figure Scaling Systems, there's a load of information below this in how we can help you, and also some free lead generation courses.